Hi, you're welcome back to Kemini Cut and Sim. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by and please consider subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thanks for being here. Today I'll be showing you how to cut a corset with a yoke. First, we'll be creating the neck. I'm using 3 inches depth and 3 inches width for my neck. Next, I'll be measuring out half of the shoulder measurement and marking it like so. I'll go down with 1 inch for our shoulder slant. And next I'll be going down with the same measurement of half of the shoulder measurement, and I'm marking the midpoint, connecting a line from the shoulder slant to that point, and I'm drawing an horizontal line. At the midpoint, I am using ½ inch for our arm cuff. Next, we'll be measuring out our half length, and I'm using 17 inches for the half length here. I'm adding 1 inch for seaming allowance. I'll be drawing those lines out now. And the next, I am marking out the upper bust, the bust point, and the under bust. The half length, we've already drawn that out, and the seaming allowance. We're rolling those lines out, and then we'll label it bust point, upper bust, under bust, and our half length. The next, we'll be measuring out the half of our bust span, that's nipple to nipple. We're using 3.75 here for our nipple to nipple. That's half of the nipple to nipple. I'll be drawing that line out now. Next, we'll need to confirm from the bust point to the under bust how many inches we have. That's what we'll be using to do the cup. But before then, we are using ½ inch. That will be the distance between the bust, the distance that will run in the middle of the bust. And so we are connecting the line like so, and we are using that measurement we have from the bust point to the under bust to make a circle. So from the bust point, we are marking that 3.75 all out, and we are forming a circle with it. After which we will connect the dot, and that will serve as our bra cup. We're using the marker to connect the measurements like so, and we are having a circle formed. That will be the case for each of the bust side. The next will be contouring, and we're using 2 inches, 1 inch on both sides of the nipple to nipple line, and we're using ½ inch from the bust point upward and downward to contour it. That's so to make our bra cup not pointy. We do not want a pointy bra cup, so that's why we are contouring, and we're using ½ inch above the bust point to connect it to the upper bust like so. And because we'll be taking out this contouring, we'll be contouring it, we need to add 1 inch more so not to reduce the size of the bra cup. And next, we'll be connecting from the upper of the bra cup to the arm cuff. That will serve as our yoke. The next will be putting our 1/4 of our bust measurement. Remember, we have taken out 2 inches, so we are adding that to the front bodice now. And the next thing, we are extending the inches we use for our contouring down to the half length. And While you're marking your 1/4 of your waist measurement, remember to add back the 2 inches so it will not tamper with our measurement. So right now I'm marking 1/4 of the waist measurement, and I'll be connecting that the bust measurement to the waist measurement. And because the back bodice is always 2 inches shorter than the front bodice, I'm going up with 2 inches like so, and I'm connecting it to the seaming allowance. And because we are making a basque waist, I'm going down from the allowance by 3, and I'm connecting that to the 2 inches that we took up there. That will be the meeting point for the front and the back bodies. So with this, we can cut out the front bodies now. So the next we'll be doing is our back bodies, and we will have to take in the 2 inches that we added to the front bodies. That's because it won't be part of the back bodies. Now the back is flatter than the front, and that's why we're taking in those 2 inches. And so we're marking out our zip allowance now, and we're placing the front bodies on the back bodies. So we'll need to secure this so it will be on the same spot and not shift. Now the back bodies is always 1 inch higher than the front bodies, and so I'm marking that out now. And at the arm cuff, it is 1/2 inch wider than the front arm cuff. So I'm using the cuff part of the pattern master to curve that out, and then you link it to the 1 inch you added. Next, we'll be marking out our back half length. Remember I said the back is always 2 inch shorter than the front bodies. So at that point, at the point of the back half length, we are connecting it to the mating, the 2 inches we took up on the front bodies, and we are cutting that out. That will be the length for our back body. So we are cutting out the neck now, and we'll cut the front neck first and the back neck the next. So we're using our cuff to cuff all the neck for the back bodies, extending it to the zip allocation, and we are cutting that out now. So the next thing we are going to do, we are going to do the shaping proper. We'll be doing the cutting of the yoke first, and we are shaping that out. So using your scissors, we are cutting that part of the yoke out, and you'll be adding allowance to it when you want to cut it on the fabric. So the next, we are cutting the bra cup out now, and we'll be doing the shaping, cutting through all the contouring we did, and we'll have our pieces for the bra cup. Now remember, when you're cutting this on fabric, you'll be adding allowances to it. So for the waist, now we are cutting out the 2 inches we are using for the contouring, and we're cutting that out. We're extending it to the bust allowance that we added, and we're joining. If you notice that the mid the middle of the front bodice is a bit longer than the side, so we are trimming that out to make it equal. And so we are done shaping the front bodice now. That's our bra cup, the yoke, and the middle bodices. So be adding allowance to it all round when we are cutting it on the fabric. The next, we are looking at the back bodice now, and to avoid that bulge when you add your zipper, we are taking in 1 inch at the back half length, and then we are slanting it to meet the back like so. And next we are marking the dart position, and we'll be using half inch on the two sides to form our dart. You can choose to cut that out, you can choose to just leave it the way it is, but I'll be cutting it out on this one. And then when I'm cutting it on the fabric, I'll be adding half inch to it for seaming. So the next, we are creating a new zipper allowance following the new back center line now. And we are cutting out the excesses and the darts. We're cutting out the darts now. So there we'll be adding half inch. Okay, so we finished cutting the fabric. We are using velvet, and I'll be using the Ankara for the cup part. So we've cut it and we added our seaming allowance. This is the middle front, and we added half inch all round except the hemming part. Then for the cup too, we added half inch. And then remember, for the draft, we didn't add any seaming allowance for the side front and the side back. So we've added 1 inch now, about 1.5 inches for the side seams. So that's it. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe so you will see the sewing part. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.